Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. This week is Fashion Revolution Week, where sustainable fashion lovers and activists all over the world come together to celebrate sustainable fashion and call for better transparency and ethics in the fashion industry. This year marks 7 years since the Rana Plaza collapse, where over 1,100 people lost their lives. Most of them were young women who were manufacturing clothes for some of the biggest fashion brands in the world. So it's obviously really important that we mark this week and we all come together to celebrate sustainable fashion and call for industry change. It's obviously really hard to do when none of us can go to any events or parades. So here at Big Sister Swap, we wanted to come up with a fun way to take this from the physical world into the digital one. We've asked sustainable fashion lovers to share their top tips for sustainability and bring us into their homes to show us their favourite items from their wardrobes, celebrating re-wearing and repeating rather than buying new. So let's give a big digital welcome to our speakers today. Georgia, Siobhan, Lydia, Megan, Emma, Harriet, Becky, Jess, Philippa, Isabel, Connie and Imogen.
Hi everyone! The best thing about slow fashion is you can find such amazing clothes second-hand and in vintage stores. One of the examples I'm wearing right now is this dress. I mean, this dress is handmade, and this was a shop that I found in York that take second-hand clothes and they make new clothes out of them. I had an amazing dress delivered to me in a Big Sister Swap parcel. Black and white stripy, fit me to a T, perfect. I also, now this is one of my favourite second-hand swap stories. So I just walked into H&M and I'd seen a really nice shirt that I wanted. I was on the brink of buying it, and then I thought to myself, you know what, no, I'm stopping doing this. I don't need this shirt. I have plenty of clothes at home, don't need it. Yes, it's wonderful, yes, it's lovely, but I don't need it, so I put it back. And then that same day, I walked into a charity shop, found the exact same shirt in the charity shop, quarter the price, second hand, bought it. Gotta love it.
Hello everyone, I'm Philippa from the Instagram account Thrifted Phil. Just a disclaimer, these are not all of my favourites. It was super hard to choose and I basically love everything that I own, which is a good thing because you shouldn't just have things that you don't love. These gingham shorts are so cool and I love them. They were £4 from Cancer Research, I think, and I moved the button across because the zipper was like showing. But that just shows you all it takes is a simple button move to make your clothes perfect. So yeah, repair and rewear, as we say. Next thing are these corduroy winey coloured dungarees from Pop Boutique Vintage? Pop Vintage? I think so. They cost me like £35, which I would not usually spend on stuff, but I remember trying them on and I said to my friend, I was like, these fit me so well, I have to buy them, and she was like, yeah, you have to buy them. And I've worn them a lot, so yeah, we love them. And I've also had to replace these on here, so that's these things. So that's another example of how you can just change things if you don't like them, or fix things and you don't have to throw them away, so yeah. There's a fashion revolution ethos for you. That is the end of my favourites video. And yeah, stay safe, stay well, and don't buy new.
Hi Big Sister Swap, welcome to my lovely garden. So I've been charity shopping now for maybe 10 years or more. My whole family love to charity shop and it's become a real family favourite. Following some amazing influencers on here, some amazing thrifters who showcase all the great things that you can buy in charity shop to change the way that I think about fashion, which is amazing. And also Instagram has been a fantastic way to open my eyes to see so many other ways that you can shop, whether that is swap shopping with companies like Big Sister Swap, whether it is online thrifting. There are so many easy ways to shop without hurting and harming the environment or the people who make our clothes, which is also so important. One of my favourite finds ever from a charity shop, I found myself a pair of Doc Martens for £13 in a charity shop. I think it was actually from the British Heart Foundation, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw them because they were pretty much brand new in my size for £13, which is a lot cheaper than they are when you buy them brand new. And yeah, I have seriously worn these guys to death. They are so beat up around the front. I wear them nearly every day to work. There you go. That is my slow fashion journey and one of my best finds ever. To encourage you to go thrifting, and happy Fashion Revolution Week.
Hiya, my name's Megan. So I am relatively new at slow fashion. I'm learning so much all the time, mainly from other slow fashion influencers on Instagram. That's a big thing for me, is I only follow people who don't promote fast fashion. My aims are to educate myself more on fast fashion and its impacts. Like, I want to learn actual stats and figures so I can, when I'm telling other people about it, I have actual facts behind the thoughts. So these are some of my favourite things from my wardrobe. This that I got through Big Sister Swap. It's such a cute cardigan. I love all the colours because they're literally the colours that I wear, so it goes with absolutely everything, and I'm so glad it came in my swap. Another thing that came in my swap is this bodysuit. I'm so excited to be able to style this. Like, that's what I asked for, is I asked for things that I could go outside of my comfort zone in styling, and I'm really excited to find different ways to style it. And like, it's brand new, it's from Nasty Gal, didn't pay for it, it was someone else's before. It's great. The next thing, I upcycled myself. It used to be a maxi skirt, but chopped it up into a mini skirt and sewn on the lace on the bottom, and honestly it was so easy. So yeah, that's me.
Hi guys, my name is Connie, or The Ginger Aesthetic, here on Instagram. I have always loved slow fashion or second-hand fashion. Since a very young age, when I was in nursery, my mum always dressed me in the cutest little car boot sale dresses, but I truly found my love for slow fashion and second-hand fashion when I actually studied fashion. I have a diploma in fashion. Not only did I learn how clothes are actually made, but they then taught us the difference between high-end production and low-end production. Obviously, as a teen and things like that, I always bought clothes from car boot sales, but as I went into college, I was like, oh, I need to be like everyone else. I need to be on trend. I need to have all these brands. But then when I actually learned the ins and outs of what it's like to be in the fashion industry, it was a real big eye-opener for me. So since that day, I've sort of said to myself, if I need to buy, I will think about what it is I'm buying, who I'm buying from. So actually leading on from that, one of my favourite second-hand finds is this mustard leather jacket here. I've had it for years. I got this from a Facebook marketplace. It was my first sort of second-hand purchase of my teen years, and then my most favourite second-hand purchase is this vintage, I want to say 1940s dress. So I'll show you the details a bit closer up. It's all handmade. I will never get rid of this dress. I hope to have a daughter one day that I can give this dress to.
Hi. So Big Sister Swap asked me to make a video helping them celebrate Fashion Revolution Week. So let's just go on with it. The first one I'm actually wearing, you can't really see it properly, right? It's basically, this is like an oversized t-shirt that I got. It says New York on it. I really love this t-shirt because I got it when I was in New York in September for my 19th birthday, and so I bought this shirt so that I could always like remember the time that we went to New York. So it's really cool. This is so cool. This is one of my favourite things I've ever bought, I think. It's from a vintage shop in Brighton, but it's like a little top and skirt set, but the cool part is you can basically turn it into a dress as well, so it's got buttons here and little button loops there, so you can like attach them. It's just really cute for summer, and obviously you can also wear it like just the top or just the skirt, so it's versatile, which we love. So this Big Sister Swap actually sent me in my last one with them. I love this dress so much. I literally haven't stopped wearing it since I got it, and the weather's like suddenly been nice, but it's just really cute. It's so comfy, it's so flattering. I love the material, I love the pattern. So yeah, thanks Big Sister Swap for this one.
Hi everyone, I'm Jess, and I have a slow fashion Instagram page called Slow Fashion Curator. So my journey into slow fashion really took off back in summer 2019 when I started my Instagram page, and that's when not buying new became much more of a commitment rather than just a sort of hobby. And once I entered that community and became inspired by so many other people doing it as well, that I realised that this was something that I preferred so much more to trawling on fast fashion websites. So the first is this little vintage blouse that I got on Depop about 2 years ago, and I think was actually my first or possibly my second ever Depop purchase. And I've paired that with this houndstooth pinafore that I've got this week in a swap with Big Sister Swap, which is one of a number of lovely pieces. I absolutely love it. It's got a little A-line fit and pockets at the front, which we all love. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next year in So Fashion and sharing more of our wardrobes with each other.
My name is Siobhan. I've just started my own Depop shop called Flip It and Reverse It. Shameless self-promo. I just think there's so many other ways that you can get your clothes that aren't unethical to the workers and it isn't bad for the environment. My first item I got given to me by my boyfriend's mum, and it's his granny's old vintage fur jacket. So many of our styles and trends from nowadays are inspired by previous decades, so you're often going to find something cheaper and unique from a second-hand place, and hand-me-downs are my fave. So these shorts have got a story, of course. So I got them from Armstrong's in Edinburgh, and they were originally like oversized yellow trousers, and they were my favourite thing ever, and I wore them all the time, and I even wore them to work, which is a big mistake, and I had my pen in my pocket and it's burst. There was way more like ink all down the leg. I've tried washing out and everything, didn't work. So instead of chucking them out, I was like, I'll turn them into shorts, and basically what I'm gonna do is like roll them up, just like sew that there, so then that's covered. Yeah, just think a little bit outside the box, and then you're saving yourself from chucking things out. So when I'm making clothes and upcycling things, I try and use up all my fabric so I'm not wasting even more. So I've been making these headbands out of scrap fabric. I just thought that was a good idea if anyone else enjoys upcycling. There's so many options to choose slow fashion over fast fashion. I've just put my first order in with Big Sister Swap. I'm so excited. I've never used them before and it just looks brilliant.
I'm Isabel, I'm 23 years old. I would say my slow fashion journey started around the age of 14 without me even knowing what slow fashion was or what fast fashion was. It is at that age that I started regularly shopping secondhand and going to charity shops, but I remember being so embarrassed about being seen in charity shops, and I used to make sure that no one I knew was around to see me go in them. If people asked where my clothes were from, then I would pretend that they were from quite popular fast fashion retailers like New Look or River Island. Looking back, it's so ridiculous that I felt embarrassed, but there's absolutely nothing to be ashamed about in terms of buying secondhand, and a large majority of my wardrobe is actually made up of pre-loved clothing. 14 is also the age that I started to learn how to sew, and since then I've made so many clothes and accessories which have built up my wardrobe. These range from clothes that I've made from scratch by buying a pattern and fabric from the fabric shop, to upcycling and customising the clothes that I already had in my wardrobe, or buying secondhand clothes with the sole purpose of transforming them into something else and something new.
Hello guys, what is happening? It is Ekalami here in my very loungewear isolation appropriate outfit. So this combo, this hat I found in Oxfam. Whenever I walked in, I literally nearly died whenever I found this because it's just so beautiful and I've wanted it for so long, like a hat of this sort of style, very clueless, and it's so big and comfortable, and I'm so obsessed with it. Number 2 is this bag, but yeah, this is really cool, like leopard print. I don't know, it's probably plastic or like patent or something. I just think it's so deadly. Number 3 is something that I've actually just made, and it is this really weird jacket. Basically, it speaks for itself, I think. It's just really fun. I did these bleach smileys myself, but yeah, I just think it's so deadly. Next is my Simpsons t-shirt. I absolutely adore this. I bought this on eBay. It's like original Simpsons merch.
So I think it's, what date is it? Yeah, 1999 this t-shirt was made in, and it's in such good condition. The print is barely cracked. I'm really into like collecting vintage t-shirts because they are kind of like a piece of art history or fashion history even, but I was very chuffed to find this on eBay for like a tenner. I encourage you to go through your wardrobe and get creative and look for things that you forgot you had.
Hi, my name's Becky. I'm also known as the Nifty Thrifter on Instagram. I still haven't chosen to buy any new clothes over the last year and 4 months, which is great. I'm so proud of myself that I haven't felt like I've had to do that. I hosted a swap with my friend Moya earlier this year. It was a swap event in Belfast called Switch Belfast, and that was so great to put on. I want to say that swapping, just as Big Sister Swap does, is definitely something up on my list this year to be looking more into. I think clothing still today has such a disposable kind of mindset towards it that swapping can kind of eradicate that, in the sense that if I have a wedding coming up and I've seen my friend wearing a certain white dress, not a white dress, like a blue dress, let's say, not a white dress, not the bride, a blue dress to a wedding, and I really liked it, I could ask to borrow that for the event, so that stops, you know, needless spending. I wanted to show a couple of my favourite items that I've collated over the past couple of years. This is definitely one of them. This is a little blazer, but I really love the cut of this. What would you call that? Maybe like a wiggle, a wiggly line cut. But yeah, I absolutely love it and I wear it all the time, and it's definitely one of my favourite things I've ever thrifted. I bought it for £5 from a charity shop. And then this blouse, I think the detail on it is so pretty, and I like to think that it was a part of a show production or something, and it just ended up in a charity shop because it's kind of got Velcro on like the last couple of buttons rather than actual buttons. I know in shows that they Velcro things, so obviously if it changes you can rip it off. I love it. You'll definitely be seeing more of this on my feed this year.
Hi, my name's Georgia and my page is Living Pre-Loved. I have been charity shopping my whole life. I come from a family of charity shoppers, so it's in my blood. So I would say about 80 to 90% of my wardrobe and my home is secondhand. It's just my favourite thing to do, so I had to start sharing it, I had to start writing about it. My favourite thrifted find is this amazing 90s Prada bag, which I picked up from Thrift Plus. I've really been enjoying doing the challenges that I've seen a lot of slow fashion Instagrammers sharing. This is actually an outfit from the Restyling the Ritual challenge. It's on my Instagram feed if you want to check out where everything is from. There's a lot that we can be doing to keep large retailers responsible and holding other businesses to account that there's plenty that they're doing to make fashion fairer and to make it slower. So say no to fast fashion, fashion revolution, here we come.
So I'll just bring us back into the physical world and thank you to our amazing contributors. It was great hearing from you and seeing everything in your fabulous wardrobes, and thank you to Fashion Revolution for always keeping us inspired and informed. And if you're interested in finding out a bit more about Big Sister Swap and what we do, we're the world's first and only online personalised swapping service. You can find out more on our Instagram and over on our website, and we hope to swap with you soon. Bye!